Well, we stop at Quick Trip every time we go. So,
Yeah, you know, remember and we're gonna take 2 days to go out because.
it's hard to sit in a vehicle when you're.
Oh, all right. She's equipped. She found a 12-volt heating tower.
Oh, yeah.
And she's got the seat and the picnic configured so it's pretty comfortable for her. She's got
Good.
a great big cooling packs and she needs to switch the cool strap on behind her.
Good.
And a Thames unit we can strap.
There's always one. And it was the right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic, one nation, under God. Comments from the chair. Alicia, would you please step forward? And board members, can you come up here?
Okay, on behalf of the board, we're gonna miss you. You know, it's kind of unusual being out there calling you up here.
It is.
So 8 years have gone really fast. We appreciate that. And I won't give you any more. There's too many things we could talk about that we appreciate to you, but we understand. This is on behalf of the board of the president.
Wow. It is a pretty good call. My gosh, that is absolutely.
We're gonna try to get a picture on the back, but John said he couldn't get it on.
So there's.
So that is really pretty, open this?
Yeah, you pick all your money.
There's a squirrel.
Oh, that is so nice. It says Fort Scott Community College Board of Trustees. It has everybody listed and then my name in 2015 to 2023.
8 years.
Wow, 8 years. Thank you so much.
We really want
I can just tell you that, you know, any successes that we've had here has been a complete and total team effort. The support from the Board of Trustees has been amazing for the students and our mission. And just moving us all forward, I want to thank everybody, the student, the community, certainly faculty, staff, all of our stakeholders, my executive team. My proudest moments are a lot of the people that we have hired and been able to help move us forward. We have a lot of successes when it comes to students and programs. And I wish we could tell more of the positive stories. I think that with our students, especially, success is relative to where you start. And we have a lot of students that we have moved, and it has been so impactful on those students. And frankly, what happens to them has been so impactful on me and the rest of us, and just makes me grateful every day that I had the opportunity to do this. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. This really is nice.
I wish it was gold.
Thank you.
Okay, we have no comments from the public. Consent agenda. Approval of agenda, approval of minutes, previous regular board meeting conducted on June 19th, 2023. And special board meetings conducted on June 28th, 2023. July 5th, 2023, July 6th, 2023, and July 10th, 2023. Approval of treasurer's report and bills and claims, approval of personnel actions. Consideration of 2023-24 athletic insurance and catastrophic injury insurance. Consideration of Fort Scott Community College president employment contract. I think. We need a motion to accept. Well, that's the last month's agenda. Bear with me on this. I just got my computer back a little while ago. Okay. Item, this is the consent agenda. Item A, approval of agenda. B, approval of minutes of previous meetings. Attached are the minutes of the regular board meeting conducted on, I read that. Approval of treasurer's report, bills and claims. Approval of personnel actions. Dawson Cantwell, assistant baseball coach, effective July 1st, 2023. Caleb Tipton, assistant women's basketball coach, effective July 11th, 2023. Lindsay Torrens, assistant volleyball coach, effective July 12th, 2023. Sierra Higginbotham, MEP quality control, effective August 1st, 2023. Separations, Madison Dellinger, assistant volleyball coach and admissions representative, effective June 13th, 2023. Emily Somerville, head women's basketball coach, effective June 24th, 2023. Ben Kiefer, assistant baseball coach, effective June 30th, 2023. Sean Moore, assistant baseball coach, effective June 30th, 2023. Alyssa Johnston, president, effective July 13th, 2023. Vicky Laderer, allied health director, effective August 1st, 2023. Transfers, Jolie Carswell from assistant women's basketball coach to head women's basketball coach, effective June 24th, 2023. Sonia Gugnani from associate dean of institutional effectiveness to vice president of academic affairs, effective July 17th, 2023. It is recommended that the consent agenda items be approved as presented. Is there any discussion?
Gold star goes to Julie for all of her minutes.
Add a girl, you get another add a girl. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So move. Second.
Then moved and seconded. Julie, would you call for the vote?
Elliott,
Yes.
Hewens,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Bartlesmeyer.
Yes. Can somebody help me on the page number?
54.
Thank you. Okay, item A, consideration of 2023-24 athletic insurance and catastrophic injury insurance. NJCAA requires affiliated programs to provide athletic insurance and catastrophic injury accident coverage. Dissinger and Reed Agency has provided 6 quotes for athletic insurance and 5 quotes for catastrophic coverage for your review. These quotes are at the same deductibles and limits as last year. For catastrophic coverage, Fort Scott Community College has always chosen a 10-year benefit period. Annual renewal for the 2023-2024 renewal below are the quotes provided by Dissinger and Reed Agency. It is the recommendation of administration to accept the first quote, $89,000 for athletic insurance from Berkeley Life and Health, and $9,299 for catastrophic insurance from Mutual Omaha, for a total of $98,229. Any discussion, question?
Julie, how does that rate compare to the last time?
I knew somebody would ask me that. Last year, we paid $111,707 altogether. So I have 13,408 savings.
And I'm sure there's a reason we picked Berkeley Life and Health over Zurich.
Yes,
And the reason being,
Zurich is a prior company that we just had some difficulty.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And that's why we also, on the catastrophic, did not pick the lowest one there. We picked a policy that did not have either the third party payer or the
Okay.
insurance, the same ones that we're struggling with right now.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve as the recommendation was listed. I'll second.
It's moved and seconded. Julie, would you call for the vote?
Hewens,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Bartlesmeyer,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Item B, consideration Fort Scott Community College President Employment Contract. President Alicia Johnston announced her upcoming retirement in April 2023. Fort Scott Community College. Board of Trustees began a candidate search by posting the opening in local and national advertising markets. 39 candidates were initially reviewed by the board. 7 were selected for reference checks, 5 of which were selected for a Zoom interview. The board then chose their top 3 candidates for on-campus interviews, which included a campus tour, meeting with Fort Scott Community College's executive team, a community forum, an employee/student forum, and a formal interview with the board. The board evaluated and considered feedback from all parties who participated in the on-campus interviews to make their selection. It is recommended that the board approve the employment contract of their selected presidential candidate, Dr. Jason Hagler. Any discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Julie, would you call for the roll, please, or call for the vote, please?
Nelson,
Yes.
Bartlesmeyer,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Hewens,
Yes.
Hart,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Thank you. Jason, you want to come up, sit up here with us? Yes, I do.
I must say, that's the first time I've gotten an ovation walking into a room versus walking out. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We are going to have administrative updates. Julie, you can be first.
I made sure I included, that you did approve last month purchasing a vehicle for Charles for logistics. With a, far as a vendor and an amount kind of, variable there. He did find a, Chevy Malibu at Briggs that had 28,000 miles on it. It's 2015, but he was able to purchase that for $17,399. We both felt like that was a pretty good deal. We liked having the ability to purchase in town or in local. So that was a good thing.
And that sounds like a fairly low mileage vehicle.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, and he reviewed it. I've looked at it. Looks pretty good. So thank you for that. But I wanted to update you on what we did purchase at that time. After that, it's financial aid office. You know, there's a lot of work right now as far as funding and getting it set up, or in the past couple 3 months, funding and getting the funds set up to award. They are in the process of posting Bourbon County waivers for the summer session right now. And then foundation grants, they posted some Pell, they're on the road to get things out the door. And Elijah kind of gave you the update there of what happened in 22-23 as far as the number of records they pulled and how much as far as loan disbursements and Pell money that they dispersed. The bookstore, we've started odds and ends. One of the things that they normally do is on June the 30th. The auditor comes in and reviews her inventory count. So she was shut down about a day and a half. The last 2 days of June to count books and clothing and all of that. And the auditors come in. I think we found $1,100, one difference in the whole thing, and that hadn't got counted. So that's a good thing. The new auditors were in. It was nice to meet them, get started with that relationship and that type of thing. We've mailed a lot of statements. The business office and the cashiers reviewed and mailed statements. This will be the 3rd mailing for fall, and I believe fall of 22. The 2nd mailing for spring of 23 to, in particular, anybody that had a balance that was over $500. trying to get them aware of the fact that that will create a problem when they go to enroll if they are trying to do that and they need to get the balance paid. So we mailed that right before the July 4th holiday. We sent them out that week. So right now, we're working on year-end closing, naturally working on budget. That's kind of everything else has come to a screeching halt, and that's the thing on task. And then we are beginning to have calls from students that owe balances. Even worked with an international student to manage transfer money from their banking entity in their country to ours. And so that worked, and we've kind of told Tom and Luke and some of those that work with international students that we can do that. I think Luke is here. Yeah, so hopefully that will help clear some of those balances. You can see the long list from maintenance. They're in the thick of it this summer as far as getting things done and that type of thing. So, any questions?
You might explain the service master trucks on the north side of the.
Yeah, that just happened since the report was sent out. In the heavy rains on. Can't remember.
Was it Saturday night or Sunday? Right.
Wednesday night, first heavy rain. We have we had a leak. We have a drain cap down in the basement on, and the water pressure was high enough that it shot the cap up and flooded the floor. I think Jason and Jared told me it never got over about half an inch deep, so it did not hit or hurt any of our servers. We always have things up. But all the carpet was wet that is down there in many of the offices, particularly IT, because the drain's right out front of their office. Their back side of their office space. And just to make sure that we didn't have any mold issues or needed to go any further, Lisha and Jared went ahead and asked Service Master to come in and clean it up. Not that our maintenance department hadn't got out the shop vac and started that process, but to check the sheetrock for wetness in the carpet and that type of thing. I think they're probably pretty much done today. Are they about done, Chris, down there?
They were in the process of investigating the sheetrock. They're pulling off all
Yeah.
the trim and everything, but they had dehumidifiers going and the carpet was dry now.
Yeah,
So that's
carpet is
a
dry
plus.
now. Yeah. So,
But it wasn't sewer backup, it was just rainwater, is that right?
we're not positive, to be honest. And so we believe it was all rainwater, but we're not positive. We're probably going to have to get a company in to do a mapping of our,
See just where the water came from.
yeah, and of our lines, because that building is one of the oldest ones. And with the dorm tied in and all of that, it gets kind of difficult. And of all the plans we have, that is the one that the drawings for the plumbing on the architect plan is gone. The plumbing plans are gone, the page is tore out. So, you know, that's, but it's become a challenge every time we have a heavy downpour. Recently, that flood comes, it did not this weekend. They had changed some size of the plug and that type of thing, but we ended up with a big hole out on the back side of the administration building. So it's like when that was sealed up, but the pressure was it had to find somewhere else to release it. So we're gonna have to get a company.
Yeah, I think that'd be something that prioritizes find out where that,
It is.
really need to find out where that's coming from.
Yeah, Jared's pretty uptight about it, and he was gonna spend the day, I haven't talked to him, but spend the day looking for a company to give us a mapping of the underground, the water and the sewer and that type of thing, the plumbing.
And so this room is the IT room.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
there,
where all the IT equipment is.
yeah, yeah,
That's scary. to me.
Yeah,
The drain itself is in the hallway outside of that
It's
area,
like,
but it does.
It's on the
It's
thing.
it's almost like it's a square,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
IT's right in the middle, and so when the water came up. It's
It-
hilarious to watch the video, by the way, but then it just go and it went just completely around there and then flooded out into.
Yeah.
Harbor.
That just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Sorry.
IT has learned, because this is not the first time, we've had one other time that it did that, but not near as drastic. But they had most of their servers in the rack, yay high, off the floor. Your equipment, most of it is up, and the part that,
yeah, we've had pallets, stacking everything on them, just to get it, 3-4 inches off at least
yeah,
to help with. These.
but
other-
it's just started. I think from the history of one of the maintenance guys that's been here. Since I've been here, we've never had that problem, but just recently, like the past year, and it's gotten really drastic this time. But one of the maintenance guys that's been here for 17 to 20 years, he said many, many years ago, we had that issue beforehand, but he does not remember what the problem was.
Number one, I don't want it to ever happen again.
Well,
Number two, maybe we need to move the IT department.
that's a major undertaking.
Well,
I don't.
but I mean, what happens if
But
it floods all the IT equipment once?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's,
Catastrophic.
Yeah, okay, I won't let this rest. I'm sorry, I'm not
No.
going to.
that's all right, but that's what Service Master is doing out there is making sure that we sanitize and that we make sure the moisture is out and don't have mold issues and that type of thing. Yeah, that's one of Jared's big projects right now,
hope.
and it's one Jason's, makes him nervous, everybody and I, right now.
And most of us named Jason were nervous about that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
The one other thing we have that kind of helps is, first of all, we have a temperature alarm on the server room. So we know whenever the temperature starts going up, but we've also purchased, just had not got it installed, a flood alarm or a water alarm. So I think that is top on the IT department's list to get that in there. Because that would give us forewarning when there is some flooding in that area.
Well, I don't know if I'm going out on a limb, but I'd sure like to have a report on. Keep on top of that.
Okay,
To me, that's just an accident.
it is an
Looking for a
accident, like
place to
that.
have it.
I don't disagree, but yes,
Okay, thank you.
okay,
Luke?
We have AC going into the gym. That just started. We got the unit out there. Electric just got hooked up today. HVAC guys are coming back tomorrow to do the full hookup. The floor guys have been in here. We sanded the entire floor. We start paint either at the end of this week or beginning of next week. We gave them the design that we wanted and everything, so that's happening. It looks really good. Just getting ready for students. We got students coming back starting next week on the 25th. Cross country comes in. 27th, volleyball comes in, and then that Saturday, cheer comes in. So we got everybody starting to move in next week. So we're just, me and Marcy are working hard, just trying to get everything ready for them to come.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Julie, we had COVID money that had to be all spent, and any problems with that by the end of June?
no, we have it all spent.
I didn't figure it'd be a problem with it.
So the whole student services team is in their busiest part of the year, believe it or not, and that's entertaining new students who are either trying to get enrolled. Admissions have been busy. About every hour of the day giving new tours, and so there are those students that are looking for a home out there, and we're trying to accommodate those visits as best as we can. And advising has been busy the entire day, all week, enrolling new students, so all of that is good. Rory Chaplin is our technical education coordinator for Bourbon County, and he's been doing a good job getting around to Having keep talks with the administration at the area school districts. Seeing if we can get some technical education similar to CTEC going. That has a lot of traction and we're really happy with where that's going. And we'll see really it's at the stage where we see the demand on different programs that we're at. So then we can see the square footage that we're going to need for those students and then figure out, for the following year where we might be able to put those. Great thing for Bourbon County, for our school districts and for the college and the community to get some technical education workers up and going and get those kids certified so they can hit the ground running as soon as they graduate. So that's very exciting and Rory's doing an excellent job. And we're excited to have Sonia in there because she's got such great relationships with all of our school districts because she's the coordinator for our concurrent enrollment. And so she has deep ties already with those school districts. And so having her be a part of all of those conversations is going to be extremely beneficial to getting everything on the technical education side up and running. So we're excited about that. Housing numbers, we are up in applications from where we were a year ago. And so that's looking good. And we anticipate that we'll still be getting quite a few. The procrastinators all want it right now. And so usually these last couple of weeks as we move in to the dorms, we get a lot of students who realize that they don't have a place to stay. And so it's kind of in student services, these last 2-3 weeks leading up to the start of the semester is absolutely the surge and the busiest time of year. And just thank you to my team for being able to keep up with the student demands. And then in the foundation, in the past, we've had a busy month over there. I've had a couple of meetings with some potential donors that we should be able to get about $350,000 into our foundation scholarship account. Those will be through trust, but we're good to go with all that and we're excited about that. And as soon as everything's official with those, I'll be sure to advertise the names and whatnot so we can get our appreciation to them out. And so we're very busy this time of year, but that's the name of the game. We're looking forward to these students getting back.
I know I spoke to Chris. Truck driving, Mingarelli, last week, and he was pretty pumped on the truck driving thing. But he really wants to get something here in Fort Scott.
Correct.
Or in Bourbon County, whatever.
Yeah, I think that the possibilities of what the technical education could be in Bourbon County, we're just really scratching the surface because what we need to do is establish, what we want to start with, but then really see what our vision is. And certainly Dr. Kegler will have saying that, being able to project, what the enrollment is going to be with our high schools and the programs that might be popular that we're not initially starting with. Because really we need to advertise those classes to students, if not when they're freshmen, they're sophomores, but when they're 8th graders, really getting in their heads and saying that Fort Scott and these education classes I can start taking as soon as I get into high school, and then I have multiple certification before I even graduate. And so there's a lot of value in that, and I think that the programs that we can offer within Bourbon County on those tech ed side is unlimited right now, because it's just what do we want, what do our districts want, what does our community need, and then we mold our facility into being able to offer that.
I know Chris is really on top of that too.
He's doing really good.
He's pumped.
Yeah.
Being able to get something started locally, especially.
Do you have a sense of what we're thinking about starting with? I mean,
Well, really, I think the best thing to do would be to start on the model with what CTEC started. And Chris would probably be able to help me out with this, but definitely construction, trades, welding, masonry, HVACs, and start those and then see what others that our districts have an appetite for. Because as soon as you can put a program out there and recruit students to it, college, people say, let's steal something, but people say that not every student is college material, but these are college classes. These technical education classes are college, and we can offer those to our students within Bourbon County. But we To this point, just need to get those set up, get them different programs up and going. To give those students an option, because if we don't have it, they don't really know that they're interested or not, so.
So in the path would be, they go through this at the high school level, and then they would hopefully come to the community college to further that.
It depends on the program,
Mhm.
because we could offer certifications to them as they complete the necessary coursework while they're there.
While they're in high school.
Yep. And so obviously the CTEC has a wider population of high school students. And so the vision for this would be within Bourbon County for our students that are also taking classes, they would go and take classes at that facility as well. Because then we would be able to, that's something that CTEC doesn't have, because they don't have Fort Scott Community College right there with a welding program and an ag program, that those students would be interested in taking those classes. And so that only serve as kind of a model to be able to boost what we're offering to high school students, but it'll also emphasize and hopefully provide a better facility for what we're currently offering our current students on campus as well.
Is there opportunity to use the heavy equipment simulators?
There's opportunity there.
If there's demand?
Yeah, that'll just be part of that vision process and see if heavy machining is one of those programs that makes sense with the students that we have here. You know, we're qualified to teach quite a bit in that technical ed stuff. And so whatever we can teach, you know, and the funding at the state level is very good for those types of offering those tiered classes to those tech ed students.
We're really trying to get in, working with 234 now. I think they're trying to come up with a facility maybe to.
It's kind of, yes,
I've already reached out to Roy to make sure that we can partner with him, and he put out some of the ideas. The high school is gonna have 2 rooms they're gonna start this at. And then next year it's gonna be expanded, and he was gonna reach out to Uniontown. But Roy was getting really excited.
it is exciting, and it'll end up being, you know, we see the square footage that we needed with those, and then see the vision and if it's gonna be able to grow and find the facility to meet that need. Certainly, it'll, you know, we got a lot of help with CTEC, being able to get that started and whatnot, the Bicknells and the casino and everything to be able to keep it going. And so it's not something that the college can do by itself. We'll certainly need community and city and county buy-in as well. But this is something that would be tremendous for all citizens of Bourbon County in our school districts. And so we'll get it going.
Is there ever a consideration or it's a terminology thing of changing from tech ed to occupational education?
I don't know.
What, be better, same thing, just changed. No. They're like this.
Because when you're talking about occupation, you're talking about an occupation where a person does this and can earn a living. And so it's totally different.
Yeah.
And so it carries with it something that, because when you say tech ed, that can mean.
Yes.
But your occupational ed, you're talking about something that trains people into an occupation. That is where you can earn a.
Sure. Maybe it's something that we look at institutionally to appeal on the marketing side of things.
We should look at that and consider that, because people look at that.
But if they see something like
Occupation, because it's.
Well, and if I may, the college's mission talks about specifically that occupational programming, and so occupational opportunities for students. And so I think institutionally, that's probably where we're going to be best suited. We also have those constituents, those stakeholders in Topeka that they kind of are the ones who are driving that tech ed side of things. And so, you know, we can have those conversations, but I think I would agree with Tom in terms of, it might be our marketing, but when we make our reports, we probably have to stick with the.
Understand.
It could give us a notch up, and you always hear those annoying ads on the radio or whatever at different community colleges. I got one in my head right now that I don't want to cause any enemies, but it's that could be, on the marketing side, what makes us a little bit different to.
I think we are considered.
Well, and I think, kind of going back to Brian's question, our occupation, or excuse me, not our occupational, but our certificates, we're, if you do a comparison amongst other community colleges our size in the state, we're a little behind. And so this opportunity that we're creating with VTech is going to really jumpstart that for us if we can get that off the ground. And obviously we're 18 months or so away from that being a reality. But I think having those conversations and being purposeful with creating those partnerships and establishing those opportunities for students will be big for us and will help boost those numbers for us as well.
Our biggest hurdle right now is qualified instruction. And when you've got, for example, we've been dealing with the nursing program. You go to work right now. If you're an RN or BSN, $75 an hour. And for us to be able to meet that, hey, that's going to be just almost impossible. And that goes the same thing with any kind of technical, welding, plumbing, electrical, heat and air. A lot of companies will actually, almost like an apprentice program. You don't even have to have any kind of schooling or hours or things like that. So, but the opportunities are there. Just have to really milk it as best we can.
Well, and with the argument, the flip side to going into the workforce and earning $75 an hour, yeah, you're going to make a little less than that coming year, but you're going to have, I'm looking at the academic calendar for right now, and if you're working in the public sector, you don't have the same schedule. I mean, it's a lot different. You don't get the holidays, and most of those times if you're not working, you're not being paid. Yeah, so that's we really have to hone in on that and encourage people to we're not going to find it's going to be a special person, but we'll make it work. I'm looking at Julie when I say that. Okay. Julie, yeah. Sure.
So Tom, you mentioned the housing. Do you have an idea of kind of what you're projecting in terms of percentage?
Total housing, I would say will be above 85%. Okay, that's pretty accurate, Julie. Probably even more than that, probably closer to 90. We've got about 340 beds available, and we're at 307 right now. And so as of this morning, and so we do have a couple of programs that we know are going to, they have told us that we still have 20 kids that we need to be able to get applied. And so I think that we'll be in pretty good shape.
Okay. Are all the rooms available in Garrison now?
No, they're full.
No, I mean, are they? Have they been repaired?
Absolutely.
Okay, so everything is going.
We'll have full capacity in Garrison.
Okay, all right. Brian, you would look like you were kind of.
Well, and then on admissions, do you guys set some kind of targets for admission goals for the fall?
That's interesting. At this point, a lot of schools have a strategic enrollment plan. That is not something that we have here. And so that is a meeting that we have scheduled for August 1st, that we will get that up and going. And that'll be between the advising and admissions office at the beginning and myself, and then we'll bring in marketing. And there should really be probably a committee of probably 8 stakeholders that really are driving that and being able to set realistic goals and how you're going to achieve those goals in benchmarks throughout a 3-year period to be able to hit it. And so it's not something that we've had set up, but it's in the works.
Okay. Well, outside of that, do you have, how's it going?
I think, you mean as far as enrollment?
Yeah.
We're a little down. We're hoping that, and that's hard to say because our boys, since we don't have J1 yet, when we pull numbers right now, It's based off the same date as last year, and so whenever we check on Monday, it's never good. Because last year on the 17th, it could have been a Friday.
Right.
And so since at this point, it's really kind of just throwing it at a dartboard. Usually the best day that we can figure out to check is Thursday or Friday, because then we've had 4 days to be able to enroll students, and they're very busy. I will say that our advising crew has been very busy. And they've got a list of students on their desk when there's not someone sitting in their office that they need to call. And so it's all hands on deck there.
And these are students who you're expecting to enroll? or-
They're waiting to enroll. Yes, they want to enroll.
I got you.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Do we have any other? No, okay. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, opposed? Motion carried. It is adjourned. Thank you.
Like the meeting.
Yeah.